Let's talk about one of the biggest what-ifs in gaming history. Take a beloved 90s shooter, put it in one of the same revolutionary engines as Half-Life 2, and promise to make it a multi-part epic that will change gaming forever. Too bad, after just one chapter, the whole saga just vanished. It left fans on a cliffhanger that would never be resolved. This is the story of what went wrong, a perfect storm of financial troubles, terrible timing, and a corporate buyout that killed a great series that had anime movie tie-ins and cameos in other games. This could have been a legendary series if all of these things didn't happen. Today, I am talking about SiN Episodes Emergence. SiN was created by Ritual Entertainment. Ritual Entertainment was founded by Hypnotic Software in August of 1996 in Dallas, Texas. Founded by video game designer and studio director Tom Mustaine, a guy who is still working at Bethesda Gaming Studios as a studio director on games like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. This guy made his own company to make standalone games like Heavy Metal Fact 2 and their first game, SiN, while working on games like the OG Counter-Strike. SiN is a retro game that most FPS gamers love for its pure badass gameplay that set the foundation for Ritual Entertainment and many others to make games like Duke Nukem, where you play as a testosterone-filled badass that kicks ass and gets hot women. This was one of the best times to be a gamer. There was nothing more fun than going to an event where you'd meet adult stars that would show up in tight latex pretending to be the stars of your favorite video game. Nowadays they're OF cosplayers. But the gaming world was changing. Digital distribution was taking over. Valve had just turned the industry on its head with the Source-engine and Steam. Ritual Entertainment saw its chance to not just bring SiN back, but to pioneer a whole new way of making and selling video games. They committed to Steam as their main delivery platform, letting them skip traditional publishers and sell directly to the fans, while using an episodic development cycle, a TV show for gaming model. Yeah, the industry was trying to push this shit. Ritual planned on making 9 installments. The problem was money. Games like Fact 2 and 25 to Life lost Ritual lots of money. So how about we release episode 1 and hope it saves the company? It didn't. While SiN Episodes Emergence was profitable, it wasn't profitable enough to independently fund 8 more installments. Half-Life Episode 1 was released soon after, making SiN Emergence redundant. Consequently, Ritual ran out of money and was bought up by Mumbo Jumbo, and the acquisition led to a mass exodus of key talents from Ritual, with people like Tom Mustaine leaving almost immediately. This killed the game and the studio. Because of all of this, most of you know this game because of Inside Gaming or because of this scene.
Oh, Blade, you think I'm such a naughty, naughty girl. Such a microcosmic view. I'm a visionary, Blade. I will change the world.
That's what's keeping this game's memory alive in the internet's zeitgeist. SiN drops you into the futuristic dystopian Freeport City, into the boots of Colonel John R. Blade, leader of the private security force, Hardcore. Your mission? To take down the brilliant and ruthless Alexis Sinclair and her biotech empire, SinTEK. Wait, that was the first game. In Emergence, John Blade is captured and experimented on by Alexis Sinclair herself, before being rescued by rookie hardcore operator Jessica Cannon. and together they blast their way through Freeport City to stop Alexis Sinclair and her underworld partner, Victor Radek, stopping SinTEK and Alexis Sinclair's evil plans. SiN has solid character design. I mean, look at Sinclair and Jessica Cannon. And this is even better when used in conjunction with the Source engine, making every scene look like a sexy Half-Life 2. Not that sexy Half-Life 2. But one more thing more seductive than the cast is the music. It's meant to feel like a 007 game, a GoldenEye, but with a faster pace. Honestly, my biggest problem with the presentation is that they fucked up John Blade, the main character, making John Blade a silent protagonist. He used to deliver Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners throughout the game. Episodes ruined his character, stripping Blade of his personality. The best way to describe SiN Episodes Emergence's gameplay is that it's another Half-Life 2 Source engine game, making it a second-rate Half-Life 2. That means you have the great physics engine, the good gunplay, and solid animations from the Source engine, with its solid framework for a good game. But what makes SiN unique is also what ruins it: the dynamic difficulty engine called Personal Challenge System, which gradually makes various aspects of the game harder or easier depending on the player's performance statistics. So imagine a worse version of God Hand's difficulty system where you don't know if it's getting harder or easier until you get shot in the head. Inside Gaming really shows how bad the game can get, since the system naturally rewards bad play by making the game significantly easier, or it punishes you for playing well by one-tapping you every time you exit cover. Ritual wanted to build a game with emergent AI, but that isn't the same thing as fun. This was their revolutionary idea. So for someone who's not skilled at FPS games anymore, I should have struggled, but instead I found this game to be a cakewalk. SiN barely gave me any resistance. That's if some of the enemies even fought back. The only time I was challenged was during the last hour of the game, where it was actually fun. SiN also fails at the one thing that every first-person shooter must figure out to be relevant. First-person shooters are usually very similar in gameplay, but differ greatly based off of their level design and weaponry. SiN has 3 guns. That's it. A pistol, a shotgun, and an assault rifle. So how about the levels? They're pretty generic. It's genuinely a letdown at how limited it actually is. That and how bad the encounters are because of all of these mechanics. Here's an insane example. You're wandering around fighting your way through this lab. Suddenly, SinTEK operatives burst through the ceiling trying to get the drop on you. There are 3 enemies. And you pick them off easily because they're too stupid to go through the hole in the ground. This is a 3-hour campaign where you get a gun for each hour of the game, meaning you play a lot of this piece of shit game with only your pistol. Imagine playing Doom with only a pistol for most of the game. This is made worse by the fact that the enemies only have pistols too, so they can't even give you the challenge if they wanted to. SiN Emergence is 15% of a game, and bro, you can just feel it throughout the boring 3 hours of gameplay that ends on a cliffhanger. In January 2020, the rights of the SiN franchise were scooped up by Night Dive Studios, a developer famous for bringing classic games back to life. They released an updated version of the original SiN Gold and announced a full remaster called SiN Reloaded. While development on Reloaded has gone quiet, leading many to believe it has been delayed indefinitely, the IP is finally in hands of people who care. On top of that, John Blade himself makes an appearance in the shooter Phantom Fury, connecting his story to a new generation of games. While it's incredibly unlikely we'll ever see the original version of SiN episodes completed, the story of John Blade and Alexis Sinclair isn't completely abandoned. The failed emergence of the series was a painful chapter for the fans, but thanks to a new guardian of its legacy, it might not be the final one. Did you play SiN episodes Emergence back in the day? Were you mad about any of these aspects? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments section. And if you enjoy deep dives into gaming history like this, think about subscribing so you don't miss what's next.
Save me a seat in the sequel, Blade.